Alright guys, hello and welcome. Hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. We've got another couple of sets to cast in Alchemy League today. I'm sorry that I haven't casted in a long time. I've been trying to get caught up with map making for Alchemy League Season 4, which will be themed based on Alaska. We've had a lot of people, especially Cookie Pirate, working hard on organizing the maps for that. So that should be pretty exciting, although I don't have any more details on that right now, nor should I, because we're talking about Alchemy League Season 3 right now, which are the Greek maps. So the first couple of guys that we have in our show today are these two gentlemen right here. Here we go. So this is our seeding for Alchemy League Season 3. So we've got Kitsa right here versus Sabellero. So it looks like Sabellero is rated at around 1688, and Kitsa is estimated by our very complex calculator around 1612. So this should be a pretty competitive set. Kitsa will not play the people who are adjacent to him. Additional notes on this set, and let me just highlight these guys so that I can potentially point other places while I'm talking. This is around wild. So basically there's this complex algorithms. No, there's no way. There's no way the mic is bad. This is a brand new mic. It could be the fan in the background trying to keep me cool. You can turn that off and tell me if that changes your experience. I reject the bad mic question. It's a brand new mic, so unless it's gotten destroyed in the past couple of weeks, just very unlikely. But that background noise that you're hearing is just my fan. Really? You don't like my fan? Alright, well I'll sweat it out just for you, Otter. This is the round wild. So we've got this algorithm that goes in, and it does its best to match everybody. Everybody here is supposed to get 4 matches, because there's 4 weeks per sprint. And then the second sprint, we kind of do it all over again, but all of these numbers change, and therefore the listing here changes. Some people might drop out, who knows. It's not guaranteed to be the same, but there is a chance that you could face the same person in the second sprint that you would face in the first sprint. But anyway, so everybody gets 4 matches, which is not trivial to do because, you know, like Lucho has to get matched against these 4 people. And then because Lucho has to be matched against Smokey, Smokey's got to be matched against like 3 other people. And so we match Smokey up against kind of like these 3 and then leave off this guy so that he's in range of Zark here. And it's very, very elaborate. But on top of that, part of the algorithm is making sure that everybody pretty much has a match every single week, because you don't want to ask like one person to have to play against 3 different people in the same week. And so there's that optimization. And maybe there is a smarter way of doing that, but the best that I could do so far is that most players have a match every single week, but some players we just couldn't manage it, and so they are broken off into a round wild. And that basically means that Sabellero and Kitsa had to play each other at some point, but they were not assigned a specific week to do so. So they have the entire sprint to do it, and the compensation for that is that they each bring a home map. Instead of doing like the map of the week and then doing a discard system to select the second map, Sabellero and Kitsa will just both get to play one map that they want. I had to play against a 1700 and a 1300 so far. Yeah, it's a combination of a couple of things. You were hoping I'd cast your set before you're gone for 4 days? Well, it's possible. If I do another cast today, which I'm going to try to get caught up on casts. If I do another cast today, I will cast your set. Anyway, what I was saying was, because we're kind of stretched a little bit thin, we've got, you know, anywhere from 900 to 2.5k, and we've got essentially 22 players that are spanning that distance. We're going to have some some bigger gaps, unfortunately, just based on how the reality of how the numbers stack up. And this particular season of the league, we have the most conservative handicap that could possibly be applied. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in the second set that I'm going to cast in this recording. But for now, what you need to know is that these two guys, it turns out we're kind of lucky. These two guys are pretty close, so it should be some pretty competitive sets. It's round wild, and that means that they're not going to be playing on the map of the week necessarily. So let's get into it. Well, we'll get the recording up anyway, Otter. I do try to cast all of these. There aren't too many here. So let's hit go and see what we've got here. I've changed the priority of capture age to be the highest priority in my processor. So hopefully we are able to get some better quality casts here. The last time that I tried using capture age, it was very jittery. So the Otter one is recommended to change the load order so that capture age is a higher priority for my processors. Exactly. You got to stick around and check out your opposition, see what kind of strategies they're using. So, all right. So up here in the red, we've got Kitsa, and he's playing as the Red Georgians. He's around 11 o'clock. And then down here around 4 o'clock, 4 to 5 o'clock, we've got Sabeliro playing as the Cyan Portuguese. This is somebody's home map. I'm not exactly sure whose home map it is. This is just Eagle Arabia. Nothing really special about this map, except that it is old school Arabia with an eagle outline on the map. A lot of people say that ancient Greece is kind of known for their eagles and their eagle mythology, so it seemed appropriate that for our Arabia map that we have an eagle. Some eagle artwork on the mini-map, which is not trivial. What else can I tell you about this map? I can tell you that this map, when I say that it's a classic style, I mean that players do not have player-assigned woodlines on this map. You are not guaranteed a certain number of woodlines. So, theoretically, it is possible that all of the woodlines could end up over here, and Kitsa could have none. Traditional Arabia uses some advanced terrain layering techniques. What? What? No. You gotta ask Seabass, Otter One. You gotta ask Seabass. I originally made this map for Seabass because he wanted to come back and do a Return of the Rising Eagle Cup set in ancient Greece. But he's had a lot of stuff going on. He was sick for a while and some other personal things. And I was kind of waiting for him to use it, but he never really used it for his tournament, so I decided to use it for Alchemy League instead. But this map does not have player-assigned forests. So the forests are basically just given the old-school, classic Age of Conquerors. Avoid your forest town centers by a certain distance, otherwise go anywhere in the map. So the line of code that generates this forest right here is the same as the line of code that generated this forest right here. Whereas most modern DE maps will have like a specific square of terrain, and then they tell a certain number of forests, like 3 or 4 forests, to spawn on that square, and then they remove that square of terrain and make it look like the rest is stuff. And thereby guaranteeing a certain number of forests. So some of you may have seen like a T90 video where somebody had no forests or something like that. That's because all the complexity of that plumbing allowed the drain to get clogged. So we don't have that in this case, although most modern maps, including my own, do that. I would prefer to do that. I would have liked to do that on this map, but it turns out, as we've got this attempted villager pickoff here, but this scout is surprisingly weak. He attacks quite slowly. Otter One is correcting my history here. He says the Byzantine Empire, aka medieval Greece, took it over from the Roman Empire because, well, that's true. They did call themselves the Roman Empire. So you can say medieval Greece has an eagle. Well, we are in the Middle Ages after all. So Sabeliro running around here with his wounded scout. I believe that this is the first set that Sabeliro has played in Alchemy League. So Saballero might not know how slowly these heavy swordsmen attack. You know, he's looking at it just like, oh, I got 7 attack in the Dark Age. You know, let's take out a free villager. But that's okay. He got away. He got away. That's what matters. But anyway, I would have preferred to do player assigned force, but it actually doesn't work with the Eagle outline. The Eagle outline makes it impossible. All terrain inside of the Eagle is between 0 and 1 in elevation, and all terrain outside of the Eagle is between 1 and 2 in elevation. So we got Keats' scout. He's checking out Saballero's wood line here. Let's see. If I can select, see what he knows. Okay, so he did scout this barracks going up, but like that will surprise nobody. These guys are 16 to 1700, so if you're 16 or 1700 and you're playing on a very open Arabia map like this and you haven't built a barracks yet, you're either like trolling, I'm not really sure what you're doing. Keats choosing a strange time to attack Saballero. Saballero has loom. This guy cannot kill a loomed villager. He attacks too slowly for that. But he is very good at getting like a pick off. If you've got a villager, a lone villager that's gone out to build a lumber camp or something like that out here, or especially a weak villager, he's good at running in and attacking and then running away. Almost like a Castilier, really. Even though I don't really like Castiliers very much. Otter wants this fun fact. I met my round 4 opponent on the ladder right before playing him in my round 2 match. Yep. Yeah, you guys are all around. We try. You know, we try. We try to group people that... We try to ask people who are supposed to be playing against each other to play against each other. Keats worried. You know, I don't know that he scouted this stable, but he sees... I don't know. Maybe he sees Portuguese or he thinks the timing... Either way, he decides it's a good idea to start walling things off. Saballero getting some economy upgrades. On Nomadis, the map of the week. Speaks that the ELO system is fine. Well, we've improved the system a lot. The previous season of Alchemy League, there was a bug. And we had some like insane win rates. It was saying that Lucho was like a 3K player. I did my best to sort of improvise with the number of games that it considered. This is not good for Kitsa. This is, and you know these mule carts make it kind of difficult to do that quick wall. And Kitsa trying to wall this off, but just like, you know, you just have to build a proper wall around it. But he does have this spearman coming in. Saballero wants a piece of these villagers, though. I think he's going to get it. The villagers can't get the proper surround, ironically, because of the wall. There are a lot of Georgians in Alchemy League. That's actually kind of surprised me. Maybe they're really strong right now on the ladder. I'm not sure. We did give people 2 bands apiece. So for this particular set, we will not see Mongols, Armenians, Magyars, or Byzantines. So Georgians are free game. Otherwise, it's free pick, no repeat. So it looks like Keats is going to move over here with his mule cart. I guess I see a stable here, so theoretically Keats is making scouts, but I think he's also under a lot of pressure from Saballero here. It looks like actually something was killed. Oh, it's Keats' scout that's rotting away there. But so far, Saballero being much more aggressive. This is a vicious map. The mule car start is OP since they don't lose res for it anymore. Oh, they changed it so they start with a mule cart but don't lose any resources for that. I see. So that's why Georgians are so good right now. Maybe what we should do is next season of the league, we should make it so everybody starts with a mule cart. Does that sound like something they'd do in Alaska, Otter? The right side of Capture Age still extends a little bit beyond... Oh, all right, thank you. There we go. How's that? Is that better? I've reformatted the video to fit your screen. So, the other thing I was going to add is that if this map looks like Irish Arabia. That's because it pretty much is. Like, I literally took the spreadsheet for all the resources for Irish Arabia and copied it over for this map. So if you're looking at, like, the positioning, the gold, the stone, the deer, the sheep, all that, the only thing that's really different are the forests between this map and Irish Arabia. And I've actually heard that. People have said, this map feels a lot like your Irish Arabia. That's why. So let's see here. Saballero with only 4 military. Keats has been building up this military. Keats has got so many of these spearmen. He's a little paranoid about Saballero. It looks like the Eco KD is 1-to-1. Keats has killed a villager, and he's now going to force Saballero to wall up. Based on the number that I see on gold here, this is telling me that Saballero, looking at his resources, Saballero's done with Feudal Age. He's like, okay, you know, I came in, I got my kill, I did my damage, I distracted my opponent, I bought my time, and now I want to click up to the next stage. But I don't know that he has the buildings. No, he needs to build... Oh, okay, he just built it right there. It's a stable. He better hope that Keitsa doesn't find this. This would be unfortunate for Saballero if Keitsa found that. And indeed, Keitsa does find it, just as Saballero clicks up. So Keitsa is going to need this villager pickoff. There's no way Saballero... Yeah, he can't save that at that point. So Saballero is on his way up to the Castle Age. So Keitsa has done more damage in the Feudal Age, but Saballero will be Castle Age first. He's got actually a couple of... Keitsa's got a couple of weak scouts here. I guess he's going to try to chisel his way out. This spearman is... Let's see if the spearman goes for the weak scout first. Yeah, it looks like he is chasing the weak scout first, which is a good idea. We're seeing Saballero add another stable. So Keitsa with these gloriously greedy walls. I love these walls. The only thing wrong with these walls is that they are not stone walls. We should also note that Keitsa has 100 fewer stone. I believe that he sold some stone so that he could afford to click up. And indeed, Keitsa has the resources to click up now. He's going to complete this villager, and then he's going to click up. And he's going to be about 1.5 minutes behind Saballero. And that's going to be 1.5 minutes of hell. Saballero has put down another stable here. He's got a ton on gold. I guess he could have more. But he's getting bloodlines, he's getting scale barding armor. So this is telling me that Saballero is saying, look, I am going to have this. I feel like my opponent isn't up yet. My opponent has a ton of stuff. I'm going to go into 2 stable knights. And I'm going to rock Keitsa's little world. I think that's Saballero's approach. We might see Saballero throw down another town center foundation. But I don't think so. I don't think he's got the food for it. We can see that he's making a knight from each of these stables here. And he's going to build up a military. Keitsa trying to get out here on the offensive before Saballero gets too many knights out. And indeed, if Saballero is not careful, he could lose knights to this massive spearman here. They do outnumber the knights significantly. And that's good enough. Keitsa deciding, I can't really get those knights to fight me, and there's going to be more knights. Okay, so we do see Saballero putting down another town center foundation. So Keitsa just wants to stay alive, and I think he will stay alive until Castle Age. He's building some additional house foundations here just to shore this up. If you have an enemy knight attacking your palisades here, then it's harder to get somebody out here to fix this because it's further away. And this gate is going to go down so quickly. It's actually kind of annoying how weak gates are. I bet that these knights destroy this gate and get in. No? Okay, Keitsa is going to be able to repair it in time. That's good for Keitsa. These knights forced to withdraw. Keitsa building a fortified church here. He'll be able to make monks, and monks are a good defense against knights. They're actually really fantastic to prevent this knight snowball. It's a critical part of the game, in my opinion. Because it's one of those things that's really a defensive unit, right? Like, nobody goes offensive monks on Arabia. Because your opponent will just run around it and kill you. But they're good to have in your base to keep this unit out. This unit is a big power spike. And the monks prevent that. So Keitsa going to shore up this wall as well. Got more house foundations. Keitsa's not going to be housed anytime soon. So what's the plan here for both players? Keitsa has a market. He's got a little bit more of an economic approach. Saballero, though, has built another town center, and he's 2 town center, 2 stable knight. Okay, he's trying to get in. He's working on this house here. I'm wondering where Keats's monk is. Alright, he's just going to build another house instead of fixing the old one. And Kitsa should build another town center if he can afford it. But he's not. I guess he's massing knights of his own. Okay. So here it is. So this is Keats's counterattack. Sabellero has made a defensive monk. Kitsa is going into light cav. He's afraid of monks, which is interesting. And I guess he's just going to run in, but Sabellero is pretty well covered. The villager is going to get... Whoa! The villager survives. I thought that villager would be going down for sure. So Kitsa doesn't want to lose these units, but Sabellero is running in. Sabellero has targeted one of these light cavalry. The monk is going to go down, and I think a couple light cav go down as well. Or maybe just one. Anyway, Sabellero expanding out to this gold. So Keats's sort of walled off this this entire section is Keats's. He's done a good job of walling, keeping his opponent out, building up a military. So both players, 2 town center, 2 stable from the look of it. But Keats's town center comes a little bit later than Sabellero's, and he's 7 villagers behind. According to my banner here, my overlay, Keatsa has killed 4 economic units and lost 1. So, Keatsa's 10 villagers behind, but he could be 14 villagers behind. That wall, and they say they like open maps. Well, they like their opponent's map to be open. I think that's an important qualifier. If somebody says that they like an open map, what they mean is that they like it when they can get in on their opponent. So both players sending their armies to their opponent's base, looking for a way in. Sabellero trying to get in over here. Keatsa coming in this way. Sabellero's base is not as well walled as Keatsa's, but Sabellero's also ahead in villagers. So he's just expanding onto this stone now. And he manages to quick wall in his mining camp, which is an important win there. That could have been pretty ugly if he had failed. Now, guys, remember that Relic Victory is enabled on this map. This is Alchemy League. Alchemy League does standard victory conditions because literally why not? Why would we remove a potential outcome? Why would we make it so that there were fewer ways to win? So you can win by getting all of the relics, and unfortunately for Sabellero here, it looks like Keats is going to lose most of his military, but he does kill some stuff, and he killed a couple of Sabellero's monks. It's just 200 gold down the drain right there. Sabellero trying to get the... Oh, but Sabellero's in on Keatsa up here. How the heck did he get in? This is a disaster for Keatsa. Look at all these villagers going down. Sabellero, as you can see, evening out and pulling ahead in villager kills from somehow getting in. And here I was thinking Sabellero intended to try and win by capturing relics. But he's just massacred a bunch of Keatsa's civilians. Keatsa has nothing on gold, and yet he needs to continue to make monks and knights to defend against this. Okay, he's got a monk. He's making another monk. And he's got some villagers in his fortified church. And he's gonna build a town center on this gold to keep it safe. I think that's really smart. He needs to secure that gold, because without it, he can't afford to defend against this, unless he goes mass pikemen. But I'm curious how these knights got in. Aha! They got in this way. So apparently there was a hole in the wall right here, and Keatsa didn't see it. Next to that foundation and next to the forest. That is really unfortunate for Keatsa, because he was in a very good position, I think. He was better walled than Sabellero. And his military, he kind of let it go, fighting, raiding Sabellero, because he was confident that Sabellero couldn't get in here and attack him. But that's just not true. Sabellero snuck in. Sabellero running away from that monk. And Keatsa calls the GG. He looks over and sees he's got 2 military against all of this. And he knows that Sabellero is very far ahead, and indeed he is. Look at all of these villager kills right here. I would say that, what, 24 of that was from breaking in, killing a bunch of things, doing massive damage. Kitsa was not prepared for the hole in the wall. It's true, Otter. It's true. If the walls are larger, there are more opportunities for something to go wrong. So now we're going to cast the next one in our set here. And the next one is going to be Nicaea. I believe that Arabia was Sabaliro's choice. Kitsa likes Nicaea. Tower rushes too. Accusations here that tower rushes could be a tower rush could be in Kitsa's cards. Nicaea is an islands map that I made. It was designed to improve upon the concepts of Northern Isles.
Yes. And
to apply a Greek theme. So everybody starts with a transport ship, which means that everybody starts housed. So you get loom immediately. You can see that it just jumped up to 40 from 25. The villagers are a little bit tougher. It's hard to defend on this map. You cannot wall to the edge of your island. You got a transport ship, so anybody could just show up here. You don't have to build a dock to get over here. And we've seen some pretty crazy landings on this map so far. I wonder what kind of strategies we'll see. What Sabaliro will go for. It seems like Sabaliro has picked a classic water civilization, the Druvidians, and Kitsa's picked Koreans. This is a very Koreans-friendly map here, right? This map is all about ships and towers, and Koreans do both very well. I personally think Byzantines are a great choice for this map. You can do that early fire ship aggression before these choke points really matter too much, and their towers and such have extra health. So I would love to see somebody build a little fishing economy back here. You know, see somebody transport over here and build a mill with a bunch of villagers and a tower and maybe take all these resources. But that doesn't seem to be the play. This goose wanders into the water here. I've had people message me saying, Tech, you realize that the geese can walk on the water on Nicaea? And I'm like, of course the geese can enter the water on this map. Geese can always enter water. But no, the geese act like deer on this map. So, what else do I have to say? Trees have 3 times as much wood, approximately. So each of these trees have 350 wood. That's to make up for the fact that there's just like so much water here, right? There's not a ton of space to do what you need to do. So we made the trees more valuable. Most of your resources are on your starting island, including 2 relics. But there are these other islands out here which you can build on. We have seen players build town centers up here. But it's a pretty aggressive map, I would say. If your opponent's navy gets out of control, there is a stone that's close by to your town center that you can take, generally out of range of ships. So you can reasonably fight people off with towers, just defensively, to keep them off of your island. So Sabaliro 4 on wood, Kitsa 4 on wood, actually 5 on wood, but we're really not going to see anything too crazy here, I don't think. We'll have to keep watching, see what Kitsa does. Kitsa going to build a back dock. This is a defensive fishing dock, I think. The kind of dock that you build if you want economic benefit. Not really an aggressive forward dock. We do, however, see that Kitsa has decided to sail over here, and he's going to check out Sabaliro's town. Let's see. So he scouts Sabaliro's wood line. He scouted the northwest coast of Sabaliro's island. And he's coming around to see what kind of resources he can deny. The Heavy Swordsman has a reasonably long line of sight because he has low hit points. And the low hit points mean that he could die easily to a town center. So with a longer line of sight, he's more likely to spot a town center and avoid it. He spots Sabaliro's dock, which has also been built kind of in the back. Sabaliro found a shorefish here. He's taking the shorefish with 1 villager, and he's making some fishing ships. I believe that Kitsa's doing the same. Yeah, Kitsa also making fishing ships. Taking the fish, and he's taking the shorefish with a couple of villagers here. How long is it going to take for players to realize that the shorefish out here is, like, amazing? Look at this. There's 3 of them right next to each other on this little island. Don't know. So Saballero, the first to click up. Kitsa wants to click up, I think. He just force dropped off some food from the boar. But he has not clicked up yet. He's close, though. He is very close. He may have even idled his town center a little bit. Alright, there we go. So, Kitsa's clicked up. He's going over here to gold. He's going out here to wood. Saballero has landed Kitsa as well. Let's see what Saballero has explored. So Saballero has found Kitsa's dock. There's not really a lot going on. The islands are not huge. Transport ship. So he scouted most of what he needs. Kitsa's going over to stone, though. Has Saballero scouted that? No, Saballero has not detected that Kitsa is going over to stone yet. He's building a barracks right next to his town center. That's so funny, though. I'm wondering why. It could be... Why would you build a barracks, like, right next to your town center? What gives? Is it because, you know, he's probably thinking, you know, I'm going to take mostly fish. Both these players are landing each other, which is really funny. Kitsa coming over with 3 villagers and his scout, and he builds an outpost right away. And Saballero coming over. Like, literally exactly the same time. Almost within vision of each other. And Saballero making an archery range. Kitsa did not push in his deer. He did not use these geese, which is unfortunate. Oh, they only have 100 food in them. That's kind of unfortunate, too. But maybe he would have if they had more food in them. I'm not sure. That's something I'll have to look into. I know. Geese normally have 100 food, but deer normally have 140, and that's what this is supposed to be emulating. So we can see that Kitsa is planting some towers here for Saballero. He wants to deny this stone, which I'm sure that Kitsa knows about. Yeah, he definitely knows now. He's going to build another tower here. This is not the best tower spot, actually. A better tower location would be right here, up against the stone, so that he doesn't have to build as many stone walls to keep it from... to keep his opponents off the base of it. So Saballero has made an archer. Does this archer have... Oh, no, he gets a villager pick-off, too. The archer does not have fletching. Kitsa's reacting here. Sending more villagers. Kitsa might have to build some defensive towers of his own. And Kitsa building an offensive archery range, though, because the opponent... His objective is is to screw over his opponent and invest as little in defense as possible. Otterone says to make a range on the other island. It's true. It's true. That's what he did, and he did make a range on the other island. But I'm saying you don't need the barracks to be right here to make a range on the other island. But I guess, you know, maybe the philosophy is it's Kitsa repairing this tower. Saballero deciding that he's not going to try to shank it down. You know, maybe it's one of those things where if you build your barracks close to your town center where your opponent is less likely to scout it, then if the barracks is out of their sight, it's out of their mind, and they don't think about the other buildings that require the barracks as a prerequisite. So they're not, you know, if they don't scout that barracks, they may not think, oh, you know, my opponent is going to build an archery range. My opponent can't build an archery range on my island because they haven't even built a barracks yet. Maybe that's part of the thought process. I'm not sure. But I do know that these villagers are very, very weak, and Kitsa is going to try to get out of here. Yeah, he needs to get out of there. He will save the villagers. But he has towered his stone. He needs to be careful, because the base of this tower is not protected by anything. It's a little bit of a bad tower, but it's also kind of a little bit of a desperate tower, too. Like, if you build a tower here, it can't protect the stone as well. This is the best place to be able to protect the stone. We can see that Kitsa used his archer to finish off that villager from Saballero. Saballero shanking the base of this tower, trying to get it to go away. And Kitsa is actually taking stone on Sabaliro's island. Sabaliro has made a fire ship, though, and he's messing with Kitsa's fishing. So Kitsa's building a fire galley of his own. He's going to try to sneak over here and probably kill Sabaliro's fishing ships. So it's a pretty wild game so far. Kitsa forcing Sabaliro to build a defensive tower. This tower will go up, and Kitsa will not be able to finish his tower. No way. Sabaliro needs to garrison this, but the game is so crazy that, like, they're doing everything over here. Kitsa needs to get away. He does not get away, and Sabaliro gets another villager kill. Kitsa wants this tower to go up because it will secure his gold. He doesn't really have another good gold on his island. Most of the gold is on other islands, actually. Let's just take a look at this for a moment here. Yeah, okay, the stone. So there's a gold. There's basically 1 4-tile gold. It looks like it's fair between both players. I wanted the players to expand out to the other islands here, but they instead double down on their own gold on their island, which could make sense. Do you have mute on focus lost on in-game? I'm not sure what that means. You can hear me okay, right, Otter? So Kitsa wants this tower to go up, but this is not really an appropriate tower. Why would you do this, Kitsa? Like, why? Just build another lumber camp right here. Or build your tower over here. Build it someplace where these archers are not. Kitsa's losing everything. I guess he's not that concerned about it because he's also apparently done a lot of damage to Sabaliro. Similar eco KD here, despite Kitsa's insistence that that tower must go up. Sound option to mute the game in the background of Capture Age. Oh! The attack notifications are louder. Let's see what my Capture Age settings are, actually. Sound. Critters volume is all the way down. Villager volume... So you say turn up the villager volume and turn up the combat volume a little bit, maybe? You could try that. Okay. Let's go back. Maybe you didn't minimize the game. The game should be minimized. I will minimize that as well. No, it has the opposite effect. I can turn these down. Alright, so Sabaliro sending another few archers over. I'm not really sure why he didn't... I guess he's making them from both ranges, and it's just maybe more efficient that way. Kitsa apparently forcing Sabaliro to build another tower here. This is Tower Mania, which is kind of fun. Excellent. Kitsa's villagers kind of fighting this, but you can't really fight that. Have they got fletching yet? Tell me they have fletching. That would be kind of funny if they didn't, though. Okay, no, they do. They do. He finally got it. They both... I mean, it makes sense. A lot of ranged units are being built here. Kitsa's been wrapping his way around this entire side of the island. I'm wondering where the... Okay, the villagers are here. So Kitsa just continuing to deny more and more wood. Honestly, like, why not just come out here and build yourself a sneak lumber camp? I don't know. Maybe there's a really good reason why not. Kitsa gonna fight this. What's going on here? Oh, the dock is getting attacked instead for some stupid reason. Oh, alright. Let me turn this up then a little bit. Alright, hopefully that helps. I don't know. I didn't do anything with the game. I'm not sure why it would change. So let's take a look at the Eco KD here. It looks like Sabaliro has killed 5 more villagers than Kitsa. Sabaliro has also managed to keep some of his fishing ships alive somehow. I'm not really sure how he did that, honestly. But actually, now that Kitsa's won this fight over here, and he's repaired his fire ship, Sabaliro's fishing ships will be under threat again. Let's take a look at the resources. Sabellero is on his way up to the castle age. Keats is nowhere close. Keats actually throwing down farms because he knows it too. Sabellero's had some fishing ships working this whole time. Maybe that could be the difference. Okay, so Keats is going around and he is building some stone walls around the base of each of his towers. He's trying to get in on this. Oh, I see. So Sabellero walled Keitsa out from this mining camp, and Keitsa wants to get back in and continue mining the stone. Sabellero returning some villagers. Keats's fire ship is in hot pursuit. Keitsa adding another dock here. I think he's going to be quite surprised when Sabellero hits Castle Age. I don't think he's expecting it. But Sabellero was allowed to fish longer than Keitsa was, so not hearing anything from Capture Age. I'm not sure. I could try. Oh, and Keitsa actually just calling the GG. Sees that Sabellero is up in Castle Age, and Sabellero's plan to build a castle right here and clear out this. It was a good fight. It was a good fight, but Keitsa was not able to shut down, and I think it would have been actually rather straightforward for him to do that. He wasn't able to shut down Sabellero's fishing. And I also think that Keitsa did not expand out to these adjacent islands when it would have perhaps been quite obvious to do so. Not obvious, but maybe it would have been worth a try. He was instead doubling down on building this tower here and losing villagers when he could have just gone somewhere else. Yeah, he did seem ahead. I think what happened was he just tried very hard to fight this when he didn't really have to fight up here. He could have just gone somewhere else to respond to the aggression. Lost a lot of villagers doing it. Let me see if I can open up my volume mixer and turn up the volume a little bit for Capture Age. And turn up the volume slightly for Capture Age. All right, we're gonna cast the next set now. But so good games though. Good games. Sabellero wins 2-0 against Keitsa in this case. Let's go and take a look at the other players now. We're gonna show our spreadsheet. I don't know. Okay. LibreOffice Calc. Here we go. So the next two players that the matchmaker put together are Core Diamond versus Hyder here. So again, same number of player gap. But you'll note that Hyder is ranked at 1562 according to our calculator. And Core Diamond is here at 1114. So there's quite a bit of an ELO difference between these two players. Now, our very conservative handicap function selected 5% for Core Diamond. Basically, what it's doing is it is adding 200 to Core Diamond's ELO and then applying handicap as though Core Diamond were 1314 instead of 1114. And it so happens that the handicap required for somebody to be 1314 to beat somebody who's 1562, according to this chart that we obtained from Mike Jet's community when they did the Kraken Slayer tournament, is around 5%. Now, that is the most conservative interpretation that you can have. In the past, we've had more liberal application of handicap, but the big goal is to make sure that we get the right starting point, that we feel pretty good about these tournament ELO calculations, because they have had bugs and they have been reformed and improved. And once we're confident that people who are sort of similarly ranked are beating each other at 50%, chance, or maybe somebody really does a great job preparing. There's always the outlier. But once we're confident that it's working, that these elos are correct for people that are kind of close together, then we'll kind of dial in on, is our handicap actually working properly? So it may seem, as I'm casting this set, that Core Diamond is not doing well against Hyder. We'll see. Maybe he does fantastically. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that if Hyder just sweeps him, then that is, that's partially an experiment, right? And Core Diamond has been supportive of this. He wants this community to succeed. He likes us. He wants us to do well. And this is part of our data that we're gathering, right? And we're learning. So if Hyder just totally sweeps him, it's not Core Diamond's fault. It's not because he didn't play well. It's because Core Diamond is up against an unworthy opponent that just, we happen to not have a lot of people that were nearby his elo. And so we're giving him the minimum amount of handicap. And if it's not enough, then in future seasons, we could, or even future sprints, we could dial that up some more. So just bear that in mind as we're watching this, guys. Because we do try to put people up against worthy opponents, but based on where we're at with our understanding of the ideal system for handicap application, we may not be there yet. So let's go on to the next set. Yeah, and it makes a bigger difference. Handicap has a bigger impact when you are higher elo. So generally, the lower guy's elo, and then looking for handicap, he's not going to get as much. Let me just bring up the spreadsheet again, right? If the most conservative way is to add 200 to this, and then compare 1314 to 1562. That's the most conservative way. The least conservative way is to subtract 200 from this and then compare 1114 to 1362. Because at an average elo of 1200, more handicap is applied than an average elo of 1500. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. Is we want to challenge people. We want to give them the chance to play people who are better than them, because that's how you get better. But at the same time, we also don't want somebody to get clobbered. So we want that gap of 200. But in this case, we kind of, we did fail, right? These two players are not within 200, so the question, because we don't have enough, so the question becomes, how much do you apply? And we're starting off with the most conservative amount. And we might change that method later. Okay, so enough on the handicap. Handicap is a very controversial topic. So this is Core Diamond versus Hyder. I don't know much about Core Diamond. I believe he is a Russian player. I believe Hyder is Italian. Well, I know Hyder is Italian. This is a classic style Nomad map. This is the map of the week for this particular round, which was round 2, I believe. Yes. And let's hit go. So the fun part about this map is you delete your starting ox wagon here, and it spawns the villagers for you. So the villagers kind of all spawn in the same place. You are less likely to have more of the map explored, but you do start with a scout. This scout is very different from the other scouts. He's got a ton of health. He's more tanky, but he has less vision. So this is the kind of scout that could run into an opponent town center and take a bunch of arrow fire and not die. And it's okay because he's got such little vision that he's quite likely to run into a town center. So he needs that health. Hyder finding some sheep here. Now, being that this is a classic style Nomad map, that means that there is a chance that the map could grow out, the landmass could grow out to the edge of the map, and indeed it has. So if somebody builds a dock all the way over here, and somebody else builds a dock all the way over here, then it's a long haul to go over there and disrupt their fishing. So you're more likely to have access to safe fishing, I would say, on this map. But since you don't start with a villager on the coastline, you kind of have to sabotage your economy a little bit to get that fishing started. You got to send somebody out to explore. I thought about doing some kind of like put wolves along the beach so that players had to wait before they could start fishing, but I decided against it just because I really want this to feel like a Nomad map. And it is. I mean, pretty much all that we did was elevate the landmass over the water. And then we kind of randomized the size of the landmass and the borders of the landmass so that it could potentially grow into one edge of the map. And in this case, it's this edge right here. I believe the bottom edge. In RMS parlance. So let's talk about the civilizations. Core Diamond is playing as the Saracens, and Hyder is playing as the Malay. Malay are a pretty solid civ on Nomad, I think. They love to fish boom. Malay get that extra vision on their docks. Look at how much this dock can see. The dock can see so many fish. It can see 2 fish automatically. No exploration required. Sees 2 deep fish immediately. Begins making a fishing ship. I don't remember if we gave people extra wood so that everybody can start with a fishing ship, but I think that we did not. So that economic bonuses from like the Persians starting with extra wood, or Malay buildings requiring less wood so that they can build that fishing ship immediately, those are all still in effect. So there's a lot of sheep on this map. BP Dredge actually made this map. I just made some improvements. I don't want to say improvements, modifications to it. But the choice of like the resources were his choice. I just changed the landmass to spice it up a little bit, because I was going through my notes and I realized that I really wanted to make this Alchemy League thing happen. I wanted to have custom maps, and you really can call this a custom map because this map was made from scratch like the others. But I really wanted to make it happen, but I didn't want to change too much about it. Hyder getting shot here. Actually, Core Diamond shooting down Hyder's scout. That's interesting. So if we look, let's see if Core Diamond has gotten his handicap, and the answer is yes. These villagers have 41 HP, and they should normally have 40 after Loom is researched here. So you can see Hiders have 40. So he did apply... Oh, what are they saying? Does your scout have 0 line of sight? Yes, very low compared to the other maps, especially now that he's dead. Oh, okay. Yeah, that is pretty funny. Hey! Welcome! Adam, welcome. Yellow. Okay, so the scout goes down, which is a good win for Core Diamond. He's the underdog here. We're rooting for him, the underdog. We love Hyder. Hyder's fantastic. He's been pretty supportive of the league. I think actually Hyder has competed in every single season of Alchemy League. Even Season 2, when we didn't do custom maps, and I was just testing out a new ELO system. A new ELO system and like a structure for the round robin and everything like that. And we like this. This is going pretty well. And we're going to carry this on for the foreseeable future. It'll cost me a little bit of money, but I've got plans to do this for at least another year. We're going to give this a try. You know, just sort of speak. I don't want to air out any dirty laundry on stream, because that's not why you guys come here. You guys come here to watch Age of Empires. But the Dark Age is slow on Nomad. So I would say this. It seems like I've got over 500 videos that I've made, and I've made them over the course of years. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Core Diamond. All right, he gets away. And I have 270 subscribers as of this point to show for that. And that's really bad. We never really focused on quality production. And we never really focused... I mean, I did do different stuff, but I didn't really make content based off of that. I would do like team games and 1v1s. And I'm not really a particularly good player. And I'm not particularly funny or attractive or anything like that. So, you know, what do you expect to accomplish if you're doing the same thing? There's like a gazillion other Age of Empires content creators that do the same thing as you do, right? So Alchemy League is kind of this big risk that we're taking. It's more expensive, but it's okay. because I have a full-time job now, and I probably couldn't have developed all the random map scripting tools or built kind of this infrastructure with the help of some of friends. If I were working a full-time job, it would have taken me 10 years to build all that up instead of just a couple of years. But it's a good point in time for me to transition into doing a different kind of content creation. And so that's what we're going to test out. We're going to try this for at least another year. And we'll have the same size prize pool. We'll have $240 prize pool for every season of the league. And if we do 4 seasons a year, you multiply 240 times 4, and you get an idea. It's close to $1,000, right, of prize money that I'd be shelling out. But over the course of a year and working a job in the U.S., it's as long as you're in a decent. And I'm not saying that you have to be in a bad spot to not be able to afford that, but like, I don't have a lot of expenses. I've lived it pretty safe. So it's something that I want to do and that I'm happy to do, to at least try that out. And if it still doesn't get anywhere and people are still not like, "Oh, this is really cool. It's great that you're doing this, setting this up." Of course, Hyder getting Feudal Age. The Malay have a weird eco because they can, and we see that Hyder is set up over here and Core Diamond is set up over here. So Core Diamond, his fish are going to be able to work for quite some time. But if this, so as I was saying, if this still doesn't catch on, then I might rethink it. But I think that this is catching on. I think people are like, wow, this community is developing 8 brand new custom maps every 3 months. And Alchemy League is the place where I get to play on it competitively first, before the pros show us how to do it, right? With whatever strategies. So it's good for people that like that kind of independence and that kind of adventure and mystery and trying something different. Because there really is, like, we have no idea what the meta is. I mean, sometimes, like these maps, okay, a lot of them are based on standard stuff, but Season 1 had new maps. Season 4 is going to have brand new maps. Season 3 has maybe like a couple new maps and then some slightly new concepts. But overall, the idea is to give people the chance to express their ability to adapt to an unknown situation instead of just copying some pro's build order that works on a standard map. So that's what we're all about here, and we're going to see if it catches in. Or catches on. Hyder moving out across the map now. He's looking for his opponent's fishing ships. He's got 4 galleys, and he's getting fletching now. By the time he gets over here, I guess Core Diamond is moving out this way himself. Or guys, that Core Diamond's galleys have 120 HP, and okay, I guess they have the same amount despite the handicap. But they still fire faster, but it's because of Saracens. It's not because of any handicap or anything like that. That's strange. I thought that, I guess it doesn't affect the HP of military units, does it? The handicap. It just affects bonus damage. And you can see that even though Hyder had an advantage, Core Diamond is close by. Scores are similar. Market coming up for Core Diamond. Remember that Saracen markets are cheaper. This is only 75 wood here. And Hyder building a market of his own. Both players are getting close to clicking up to the next stage. So far this game looks pretty competitive. So I'm quite pleased with how the game is going so far. So Hyder on his way up. Core Diamond on his way up. But remember that because Hyder is Malay, he's going to be up so much faster. Because Malay advance faster. It's how the Malay work. So Hyder built a bunch of ships, but he hasn't, he wasn't really able to get over here and do anything. I think Hyder's looking at this just like, okay, I'm Malay, I advance faster. I'm not going to donate any HP to a feudal war. I'm going to get up to the next stage. I'm going to get War Galley, and then I'm just going to plow through my opponent. He's not going to stand a chance. I'm going to have a huge technology advantage. I think that is Hyder's philosophy. We'll see. He'll probably start moving out as soon as he clicks on the War Galley upgrade. I bet he'll move out. He's got 2 docks working on galleys of his own. And Core Diamond is making galleys as well. So Core Diamond has not taken his foot off of the gas. I'd love to see a castle drop. Do these players even know? Yeah, so Core Diamond knows where Hyder is. And of course, Hyder knows where Core Diamond is. So they both know where each other. They both know where their opponent is. Like, a castle drop could be very devastating. But Hyder hasn't gone in on that. He's all about, yeah, you can see that he's getting Bodkin and War Galley now. And Core Diamond is pulled back from his more forward position. And he will be Castle Age in just a few seconds here. And he needs to try to stay alive. I don't think he realizes how close this peril is. So he gets to Castle Age. He is getting Bodkin as well. And hopefully for Core Diamond, yeah, we see War Galley in addition to that. But he needs to be smart and pull back from here. He does not want to donate this HP before his upgrades come in. Even though his units fire faster. No, Core Diamond, no. Okay, yeah, he is. He sees it. Now, Core Diamond's fishing ships are considered eco units. They have a little bit more health, so these units have 62. His fishing ships and these ones have 60. So there is a slight handicap there. Core Diamond evacuating. He knows. Okay, and now he can take the fight. He's Saracens. He's got a faster attack rate on these War Galleys. And Hyder is, unfortunately for Hyder, he is not able to get in here and do the damage that he wanted to do, because Core Diamond was smart enough to pull his units back and avoid the fight before that technology upgrade. He chose not to take that fight, which was a good choice. He is getting careening now, and he is taking sheep. I guess he's put his fishing ships back to work. They're working on this corner fish right here, but this land blocking coming in clutch here for Core Diamond. Hyder not able to really punish him. Okay, one galley going down for Hyder. Core Diamond is in the pursuit. So interestingly, wheelbarrow being researched for Core Diamond, but Core Diamond has no farmers. So I'm wondering what that's about. He's got 210 stone, a little bit of extra stone here, coming from the handicap, 5%. 5% of 200 is 10. So he's making a university and he's going to get ballistic. So these guys are all about the galleys. I don't really know that it matters too much. I mean, imagine if Core Diamond just built a castle right here. Think about that. He just built a castle right here, and he came around and he raided his opponent with Mamelukes. And the castle, like, cut this passage off for ships. Esquizonica. Or, he says, hello, Esquizonica. Welcome. Hopefully you're here for the Age of Empires and you're not trying to sell anything or anything like that. Sometimes we get like random chatbots coming in promising me a good night out or something like that. I'm really not interested. But if you're here for Age of Empires, you are welcome. Okay, Core Diamond is holding his own. Hyder has started to mix in fire ships. Fire ships could make a lot of sense in this context. This version of Nomad, the ocean is allowed to get a little close here. You're allowed. I should say not a little close, a little narrow. The land is allowed to get a little close to the edge of the map here, so it could be beneficial for galleys. But the galleys are not really in high enough numbers here. The fire galleys have more pierce armor, and Core Diamond taking some hits. What's the name of the game? This is Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. Welcome. Yeah, it's a remake of the 1999 classic. They got a bunch of civilizations that there's too many to ever play, but that's okay. Different people have different styles, and there are never too many civilizations because you're always going to have different people. So the galley micro, the galleys are trying to avoid taking too much damage, microing down the fire galleys. But I think Core Diamond needs to just pull back. It's not really value added. He hasn't stopped his opponent from fishing here, and his opponent hasn't stopped him from fishing here. Core Diamond calling the GG for some strange reason. Oh, alright. Core Diamond calling the GG because apparently Hyder invested in all of these battle elephants. And Core Diamond did not see it coming. Hyder was just keeping him distracted with the galleys. And it worked because it kept me distracted. And Hyder just slowly built these war elephants up with the stable. It's really tragic, you know, because Core Diamond has all of these resources. It wasn't really a victory. Actually, I don't want to say it's tragic. It's a victory for Hyder because this is like solid outplaying here. An overchop. The elephants stampede through. Core Diamond's not expecting it. What if Core Diamond had, like, bought some stone, taken a little bit more stone, and he had a castle and he had a bunch of Mamluks, or he had some monks? It could have been a different game. It could have been a different... Well, I mean, it's still Age of Empires 2, but it could have been a different experience. But well played from Hyder. So this is not an... This is an example of Hyder winning because he saw something here. He created a surprise for his opponent. And that's good. We like to see that kind of stuff. Now we're going to see the next game. So this was the map of the week. Now we're going to see the discard map, which was Frurio, Greek for fortress here. Okay, so this is Regicide by default. This is a great map to pick as an equalizer. This is Regicide Fortress. You start with 3 or 4 towers, depending on your forest layout. The towers are always at the front of your base. The castle's always at the back. You start with a king as well. And regardless of whether or not you personally select Regicide when you're hosting, regardless of whether or not you select that setting, this map is Regicide regardless. We can see that Hyder is boldly scouting with his king out here. King just runs right by this bear and doesn't bother him. He's not afraid of the bear, and the bear is not bothered by the king either, so that's some good news right there. King has a good relationship with the wildlife. Alright, so Core Diamond also exploring with his king. So what that means, though, when I say that this map is Regicide, even if you don't choose it, that means that there is a guard state present on this map, which is a condition that you can impose on a random map of your choosing. And that guard state is that if you lose control of your king, you lose the game. So even though you don't have Regicide selected in the lobby, doesn't matter. You can win this game by just killing your opponent's king. So when I say that this map is a good equalizer, I mean that if your opponent has amazing macro and he's like able to micro stuff and he's able to reboom everywhere and you just can't root him out, but you can snipe his king. If you've got like a strategy, okay, you know, I'm gonna go in with a bunch of petards and I'm gonna blow up this king or whatever. I've got a strategy to snipe this king. You can win a game that way. Unlike most games, where killing any one unit is not going to affect anything. You can win a game by killing this one unit. So, it's said to be a skill equalizer for that reason. So it's smart that Core Demon would leave this in the map pool when he's doing his discards. So let's take a look at their exploration. Core Diamond has explored kind of this part of the map. Hyder, yeah, his exploration is good. Both players have scouted their sides of the map here. So what do you need to know about this map? Well, this map is my take on Fortress. I know a lot of you are going to say that this map is Fortress. This map only looks like Fortress. This map was made from scratch by me, and it's got a few things that set it apart from Fortress. Probably the biggest feature is that this tan line here represents a ring of unbuildable rock terrain around the edge of the map. You cannot wall to the edge of the map. If you try, your wall segment will not be placed. You can't even put a foundation there. So that means that these walls back here are actually doing something now. You can't just simply wall to the edge of the map. That also means that it's harder to turtle on this map. You know, you can't just wall off to the edge of the map and just set up a big trade line behind there and just do your thing. You can't do that. The map is made more aggressive in that sense, because somebody's mobile units can always move around the edge of the map and run into the back of your base. So that's one thing to think about. The other thing about this map is that all of the relics are inside of this secondary tan line here. And that means when the relics are closer to the center, it means that you could get away with doing like 4 monasteries in the middle. 3 or 4 monasteries with siege weapons. It's only towers in the front. So you can do like more of a monk push on this map. The bases are a little bit closer together. So you can definitely play more aggressively and prosper on this map for that reason. And I think that there are slightly fewer trees as well. So it's just a kind of a weird version of Fortress in a way. Core Diamond is Feudal Age, and now Hyder Feudal Age as well. We can see that Core Diamond has 210 stone. Got a little bit of extra stone there. So the handicap was applied correctly, which is good. He's just built himself a market here. Got a little bit extra health in the market. Persians. What do Persians do on this map, and what do Sicilians do? Well, we've seen First Crusade before. We've seen Ola Dushek do a First Crusade. And I've got a video on that somewhere. I don't have it handy exactly where First Crusade is. But we've seen it tried, and you should be able to find it. It was Ola Dushek versus DJ Sapsan. Go check it out. It was in a previous round of this season of Alchemy League. I don't think First Crusade is Hyder's style. Maybe it is. Maybe First Crusade is totally what Hyder is all about, but I don't think so. But then that begs the question of, well, what then? If it's not going to be a Donjon Rush, if it's not First Crusade. Alright, so here's my guess. I think that Hyder is going to do like some kind of, I don't know, maybe Hoburg Cavalier. He's just going to boom. He's just going to play defensively. He's going to go into Hoburg Cavaliers. He's going to run past this unbuildable rock terrain, and he's just going to raid Core Diamond to death. I think that's what's going to happen. I could be wrong. Hyder as Persians? I don't know. Maybe War Elephants? It's hard to say. This one is an even bigger mystery. What do Persians get that makes them good on this map? Let me know, guys. Let me know if I'm missing something. So, Core Diamond getting up to the castle age here. He's building a monastery. I believe that you advance a little bit faster when you have slight handicap. Perhaps not, though. He's making a monk. Okay, we can see multiple scouts here from Core Diamond. So, has Hyder made any scouts? No. Hyder has a barracks, but everybody starts with a barracks on this map. He could be making spearmen, but I don't think he has been. You win with relics, or you can lose by relics if you're not careful. So Core Diamond appears to be going for the monk. He's going to get relics, and he's going to try to win that way, perhaps. If Hyder's not paying attention, he could potentially see a relic timer. So Core Diamond, has he scouted all of the relics? Yes, he does. He knows where all of the relics are, and he's got men watching them. So he's going to come over here, and he's going to snag this relic. I would really love to see Core Diamond start a relic countdown. I think that would be great fun. So he just gets the speed upgrade for that monk now. Monk is moving along a little bit faster. He's kind of an old man, right, with a cane, so you can't expect too much. And he's going to make another monk here. And so far as I can tell, Hyder has made no attempt at getting the relics. Okay. Sorry about that. My phone was buzzing. Just like my imagination is buzzing with the possibilities for what's left in this game. Let's see. One relic so far, two relics for Core Diamond. He's going to come out and snag this other relic here. And then he wants this relic. So Core Diamond making a clear and obvious play for the relics. But Hyder is definitely outbooming him. Hyder's on 3 town centers. Core Diamond is on 1. So if Core Diamond is not careful, he will fall behind. Pretty far behind in villagers. Right now the difference is 7. I believe that Core Diamond is generally keeping up with villager production from his town center. Persians have kind of an easy economy. They're sort of an easy civilization to play. I don't know that they're particularly great at anything, but they're an eco-friendly civilization. You know, your town centers are working faster, and that's probably helping out with this difference here. But they also start with a little bit of extra food, as Hyder trying to take out this monk with a spearman. Spearman needs to turn around and whack at the scout. Monk is coming back, trying to save this relic. But Core Diamond, you know, he can sort of feel how close he is. He's got his scout here, his starting scout. And maybe Hyder now knows what Core Diamond is up to. Let's see how well Hyder scouted the relics. Yeah, Hyder should be seeing these relics disappear and like know that his opponent is up to no good in terms of relics. Where's the other monk? Here it is. Has Hyder made another spearman? No. Hyder has made a monastery. Oh, actually, here's the other spearman right here. Hyder's made a monastery, but he has not gone for his opponent yet. He hasn't made any monks that could go and snag relics. So I'm not really sure what Hyder's plan is. I guess he's just going to boom and just come and try to kill his opponent before the timer runs out. And the timer is going to start pretty soon. Here's Core Diamond coming home with the final relic. So Core Diamond playing it for the map control and the relics. And he's added another town center, so now he's starting to focus on his economy. He has some catching up to do. He's going to add another town center here. Hyder adding another town center. I wonder if Hyder's going to research First Crusade incidentally. Like he's just going to get it to disrupt the relics. Not because he was planning on doing it from the start. Oh. So there's one more relic there. What happened to the 5th relic? Oh, alright. Core Diamond wants to build a monastery further back. Okay, I wonder. So we're going to see him drop some relics off here. But he doesn't. That's funny. He doesn't. Wait. He's been ejecting the relic. Okay, so he doesn't want to trigger the relic countdown because he wants to surprise Hyder. Been getting the relics inside of his base, inside of his walls. Keep them safe. I think Hyder's going to be prepared, though. I think Hyder knows what's going on. I mean, all he has to do is look over the minimap and see that the relics are all gone and know, well, I didn't take them. Must have been my opponent. He's going to eject this relic. Oh, no. He starts the countdown accidentally. Then he ejects this relic. So now the game is up. Hyder knows. Hyder knows Core Diamond wants to put the last of the relics in here. And he's probably maybe going to build a castle right in front of this monastery. That would make a lot of sense. He's going to go and grab this relic as soon as he can. Hyder building another town center, but I think that we will see First Crusade. So, Core Diamond, yep, here it is. I wouldn't build it there, though. I would build it back here. Because if you build it back here, then the only place that they can treb it outside of your walls is, you know, they have to come forward a little bit more. But this is okay. So now Core Diamond is satisfied with the placement of his relics, and he started the countdown. Can Hyder stop this relic countdown is the question. Hyder is going Imperial Age, so there's a good chance that he can. Imperial Age will give him access to trebuchets. It'll give him access to Imperial Age infantry attack upgrades. Core Diamond needs to be prepared. He needs to have like 15 on stone. He needs to be building all kinds of castles in front of this. But because the edge of the map is unwallable, Hyder could just roll this way with a trebuchet. And I think he can reach this monastery even from this edge of the map. So we'll see. We'll see, guys. I don't know. Hyder's given us some clues about what he plans to make in Imperial Age. He's getting squires, stone mining, and chainmail armor. So Hyder is going into infantry. I believe that he will do First Crusade to get an instant army, because Sicilians have that gimmick. And he will also make trebuchets. I could be mistaken, though. This forward siege workshop would suggest that he's going to go rams. Rams and infantry. Core Diamond is at 81 villagers to Hyder's 102. He's building a university. Persians are not the most defensive civilization. You know, if you want to make buildings to defend something, then Persians are not your civ. They don't get fortified well. They only get guard tower. They don't get keep. I think they get masonry and architecture, though. And they don't get bracer. So they're missing a lot of key technologies here. And First Crusade is being researched by Hyder. So we're going to see a bunch of little Flemish militia pop out of these town centers in just a few seconds here, as soon as that First Crusade is completed. He's Imperial Age. First Crusade completed. And no, sorry, not Flemish militia. Surgeons is what they're called. He's got one ram that's been created. He's got two rams. He's getting capped ram. He's getting the final armor because he's in Imperial Age. And he's planning the siege. Core Diamond has 155 years to go. It's going to be a rough 155 years. That's what all I got to say. Core Diamond is on his way to the Imperial Age. He's getting ballistics. He's building a siege workshop of his own, which is smart. He should be building mangonels to flatten the rams. Believe Persians have access to onager. So he could, if he were in Imperial Age with the right technologies, he could be making onagers as well. But he needs to be like pumping out the mangonels and building stone walls behind this. I think for his luck, Hyder's going to come at him straight from the front. Hyder knows, he knows where the monastery is. He could try to come around this way, and Hyder has indeed built outposts out here so that he could kind of have that option. He's building ranges. No, don't tell me this is Commanderon. I'm hoping that it's not Commanderon. I'm hoping that he gets chemistry, and he's going to make hand cannons and bombard cannons. He's got a couple of knights here rushing to the defense of these rams, but he really just needs to lay stonewall after stonewall behind this to keep Hyder out as long as possible. Core Diamond is getting the second armor upgrade for cavalry, and he's getting bloodlines as well. Rams taking out the tower. And the surgeons are going to build a donjon here. War elephants! War elephants. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. War elephants. I guess war elephants, like if you're playing as a civilization where bonus damage is mitigated, I don't know, maybe war elephants are the play here. They are population efficient. Core Diamond building another tower here. I don't know that this tower does much, but war elephants are pretty tanky. They're pretty powerful. Core Diamond needs to keep making them. He's got another one here and another one there. This war elephants eventually going down to the surgeon. Trebuchet moving into position. Hyder responding to the war elephants by teching into halberdier. Look at all the stone Core Diamond has that's in the bank and it's not on the battlefield somewhere. If only he had built more castles, like if he had another castle here. Hyder coming in for some action. Okay, he's just started making Halb now. This tower is going to go down. The castle is still making war elephants. War elephants do kind of take a little bit of time to make. That war elephant does go down. War elephants do trample damage, which means that they damage the units that are nearby. Not just the unit that they are attacking. It's like Core Diamond wants to convert that Sergeant. Monks are a line of defense. Castle is about to go down to trebuchets. Hyder is all over Core Diamond here. Can Core Diamond hold on? He's got 100 more years at least. He did just complete chemistry. I'm wondering if we're going to see hand cannons start to be made. Yes. This is exactly what he needs. He needs bombard cannon too, but I don't think he's going to get that in time. Bombard cannons are very expensive, and Core Diamond has nothing on wood. He's got a bunch on stone. He's getting Cavalier. I think Cavalier are a waste of time. I'm not sure why he's getting Cavalier. Okay, this trebuchet is rolling forward. This is going to be a great peril to his monastery. These surgeons being fully upgraded. Elite surgeons. They have the pierce armor of like a Huskarl. They've got an insane amount of pierce armor. Hand cannons are very good against that sort of thing, though. They don't really care about the pierce armor as much. This monastery is under attack from the trebuchet, and it's only a matter of time before it rejects its contents. Core Diamond coming to repair the monastery, but monasteries have no building armor. Essentially none. And the relics, the monastery goes down, the relics are ejected. I think Core Diamond has lost his chance. He's got 9 military to 33 and 77 villagers to 138. He may fight on for a little while, though. He's got a few hand cannons left. He calls the GG. GG, well played. Just, I think, a few mistakes from Core Diamond. Not enough stone. Like this, the fact that everything that killed him came through this tiny gap right here. Could he have done more walling behind this? Could he have built mangonels to flatten the rams to keep things out? He invested in cavaliers and war elephants and didn't really get much value from them. So he made some mistakes. This game was not won by better mechanics. This game wasn't won because Hyder clicked faster or more accurately. This game was won because Hyder made better strategic choices. And we saw that play out from a bird's eye view. But GG, well played to Core Diamond. I think he put up a good fight. And it was definitely fun to watch this set. I really appreciate these guys playing in Alchemy League. So in terms of this cast, we're all set for now. We've done I find that it's generally 2 sets, about an hour and a half. So we're going to end the stream here. I might be back later tonight with more casts. In fact, I hope to be back later tonight with some more casts. But we'll see. I've got a random map that I need to continue to work on. And I'm also going to take a little bit of a break from casting because it's quite fatiguing. But I really appreciate you guys being here, and I hope that you were as entertained as I was in this time. And hopefully, as I'm casting more sets, hopefully tonight, and getting caught up, you will consider tuning in and keeping us some company and seeing some different non-meta Age of Empires. So thanks guys so much, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.